Proteins are amazing, and I'm here to talk to you about what an important role they play in your lives. Proteins are nutritious, and some of you might argue delicious, but I'm not here to give you nutrition advice. I'm here to talk to you about the little machines in your bodies that keep you alive and well. Proteins are not visible to the naked eye, but while they're vanishingly small, they perform hugely important tasks for us, such as convert your food into energy, or help us move our bodies. Myosin is our muscle protein. Each myosin molecule performs this small contractive force. It takes about 2 trillion myosin molecules to exert the force to hold up a tiny baseball. Luckily, we have 10 times as many myosin molecules in our biceps, so we can do these awesome yoga handstands. I'll show you some of my other favorite protein examples. Take hemoglobin, for instance. Hemoglobin is the truck driver of your blood oxygen. It tightly binds oxygen in your lungs and ever so slightly changes its shape when it lets go of it when it reaches your tissues. Pretty awesome, right? Another one of my favorite examples is rhodopsin. Rhodopsin allows you to see light. Rhodopsin consists of an even tinier molecule called retinol, which slightly changes its shape from this bent form to an extended form, which then signals to your brain for further processing. Alcohol dehydrogenase is the hardest working enzyme in the first 2 rows here. It converts your alcohol into food and allows you to listen to the next talks while enjoying your adult beverage. Proteins are great when they work. However, they are also the cause of almost all human diseases. Proteins are encoded for by our DNA blueprint. Changes in our DNA blueprint and environmental factors sometimes lead our proteins to break, which makes us sick. Since proteins are so hugely important for our well-being, they're also the target of almost all pharmacological drugs. Some drugs target our own proteins, such as ibuprofen, which inhibits pain sensation and inflammation, and I'm sure you've all taken before. Other drugs, like antibiotics and antivirals, target bacterial and viral proteins of pathogens that we would prefer not to hang out in our bodies. Since proteins are so hugely important to our well-being, scientists study proteins' 3-dimensional structure, which confers they function, in order to better understand how they work in healthy individuals and how they break when we get sick, to make better and more effective medicines. Historically, unfortunately, finding and identifying new medicines has been more like finding a needle in a haystack. Researchers simply threw all the chemicals they had on the shelf at the problem and were hoping for something to have the desired effect. With advances in science, however, we were able to make more effective custom drugs with understanding the molecular mechanisms of disease. Take Alzheimer's disease, for instance. In Alzheimer's disease, proteins that are usually beautifully structured and functioning clump together to form these large white patches in your brain, which inhibits cognitive function. Another good example is breast cancer. In some types of breast cancer, or some types of breast cancer have too much of a surface protein called HER2, which leads your cancers to divide like crazy. With an improved understanding about the mechanistic details of what happens when we get sick, we can make better, specialized, custom designer drugs of the future. Researchers are currently trialing protein therapeutics to clear your brain of these large white patches in Alzheimer's disease to restore cognitive function. And the FDA has already approved protein therapeutics that block the HER2 surface protein of some breast cancers to prevent your cancer from multiplying like crazy. Other advances in anti-cancer therapies are using the surface proteins of your own immune cells to specifically recognize your personal type of cancer. If you think this is awesome, it gets even better. Some researchers in academia and industry are working on computer programs to not only model protein disease targets, but also design highly specialized, effective designer drugs of the future. My name is Franziska, and I'm a protein engineer. If you want to find out more, check out these websites, follow me on Twitter, or find me after the show. Thank you.